for here.
Yeah.
They experiment. They're actually breaking these atoms down. They're finding the data. And they don't change it because I believe this atom has a Petertron in the middle that goes to a vaginatron over here.
Yeah.
They don't say shit like that.
No.
If you can't prove it with evidence, then your shit goes out the window.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that shit today isn't finite, that you can always add to it. The truth gets more truthier as you go.
Yeah, the truth.
I mean, you find more evidence that backs it up. It may turn your direction a little bit, but most likely your model's fairly good.
And I think that's what is great about science is, everybody says, well, science is always changing. Well, yeah, it is, because we find more about what's going on.
They say that, but like Newton's laws of gravity are still in effect.
It's still in effect.
Einstein refined it. He didn't throw it out.
No, he
refined it. Gravity is still the
it.
concept it always was. We still don't have gravity defined all the way. We don't know what makes gravity. There's things about it, but the laws of gravity are still in effect. We're adding to the model of gravity. We have a model of gravity, but it's not all there, and we keep adding to. Now, is it ever going to throw out Einstein and Isaac Newton's physics? I doubt it, but it's going to add to it. It's like quantum mechanics. If they get those combined or figure out how they interact, it'll be a sweet day.
It will be.
And
that would be awesome.
That's what science does. It keeps adding to. It's not like the old boy over in England that did his, I can't remember his, they started with a W, but he did the vaccination deal with 13 kids or something like that. And, it causes autism. And now you got a whole millions of people that believe that shit and won't get their kids vaccinated. That wasn't science.
Wasn't science.
He was doing pseudoscience just to prove his vaccine was good. Is what he was after.
Yeah, he wanted...
Ended up, he got disbarred and was thrown out. And then he come back and made a video with somebody and still adding to this anti-vaccine shit. That's how gullible people are. When you don't get educated, you fall for everything.
Yep.
And they blame science for it. Well, science never said vaccinations caused autism.
No.
It's never been proven to cause autism. If there's any study that's been done on it, it doesn't prove that it causes autism. It may, but nobody's ever found that link yet.
Yeah.
They're saying, well, the mercury, but the mercury is not the kind of mercury that it's a preservative, very small amount, and it's not the kind that causes the poisoning that I understood. I don't understand it all. I shouldn't be speaking about it. But vaccinations are safe.
Yeah, I know, and they've been proven to be safe.
The autism could have been there from birth, or could have been from any number of things.
Early,
It could have been genetic. Maybe they had a high fever. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things can change brain chemistry. A lot of them are born with it. But autism is one of those things they know something about, but they don't know enough.
Yep.
So science works on it. You can't say, I have faith autism comes from blue marigolds. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work that way.
Science has to do experiments, studies.
And they have to repeat and repeat.
Millions and millions of vaccination records of people.
Yes.
So, I mean, you got that to work with. It's just most scientists don't want to waste their time on that when these ignorant people have gone out following this guy that was completely... he was wrong, and he was proven wrong, and he had to admit it in court. The court said, this guy's bad, no doctor anymore.
But people still bought into it afterward and says, yes, well, this is true because vaccinations are horrible.
They probably said Big Pharma got after him or something. Who knows, because they don't
that'd be the reasoning.
God.
I tell you. And it's hard, when you have one of those anti-vaxxers, if you ever talk to them, they're hard to even talk to because they will not have a discussion about it all. Say, well, vaccines are bad, and that's all there is to it.
They're like a religious person. They're taught that any negative talk is of the devil. Well, an anti-vaxxer, any negative talk, that's from the big pharma or the deep state or some shit. They're conspiracy nuts.
Oh yes.
Another example, I was talking about Newton's theories. Faith always said that the Earth was the center of the universe, stationary, and everything rotated around it.
Yep.
And that was by faith. And it took science. They killed scientists for saying otherwise for years.
Oh, yeah. It's like,
Catholic
how dare
Church
you?
finally apologized for, going to kill Galileo for it when Galileo was right. And science has to fight screaming to get the evidence is there,
Oh yeah.
But these faith-based, like the anti-vaxxers today, they don't want to hear that shit because they got it on faith.
Oh no.
When you don't have evidence to get you to a spot, evidence isn't going to get you out of it.
No.
Not very well. Until the church reneged and said, well, maybe you're right. Then that's the only way, because these people with faith, they don't have there's no rudder for the boat, Science is guided by evidence. Faith is guided by whatever somebody's thinking.
Yeah.
Or however they interpret a book or whatever gut feeling they got. It's no truth. There's no truth in these faith beliefs.
No, there's not.
You may have faith in something and it may turn out to be true. But do you believe it then, or do you wait till there's evidence to believe it?
Yeah.
You wait till there's evidence to believe it.
You got to have that evidence to show what's right and wrong. I mean, because you can be repeated, and that's the thing about science is they repeat this experiment over and over, and they bring it out there for their peers to even look at, and they can conduct the experiments if they want. They say, hey, I got the same results you did, so maybe we got something here. How
many of these Christians have you ever heard say, well, I've heard them argue with the atheist experience, so this is Dr. Pibbibibis, and he's been peer-reviewed, and said, yeah, we heard about him. He was peer-reviewed by Christian peer reviewers that had no credentials either. Well, the other people, they won't peer review him because they're a conspiracy to hold him out. They don't want to hear his stuff, and it changes their. No, they don't want to hear it because it's ignorant. It's stupid.
Ignorant. Yeah.
It has no facts, no evidence to back it. There's no way. Well, no, it's just because these other atheist scientists don't want to hear it, Christian. It's like
that has nothing to do with it. They want to see, they have to see that brought to them.
I admit,
so they can review it.
Most of your scientists around the world are atheists or don't associate with a God. I admit that, but a lot of them are Christian.
Yeah.
Francis Collins, in charge of the Genome Project, was a Christian. He's a Holy Ghost believing Christian, but I watched him on a video, and he was saying this DNA alone proves evolution, and he was showing the chimpanzee's DNA and our DNA, and he says this is where these two chromosomes. There's 48 pair in the chimpanzee. We have 46 pair. He says these two fused. Here's the telometer in the middle, and I know it's that. He says I can prove that right here. This is the complex, and here's where these two combined. And that's the difference between us and the monkey.
Yep.
We still have the same data, but we have two chromosomes that fused in two places. And he says that is the exact DNA. And since that fusion has made the difference between us and the chimpanzee.
Yeah.
And he's a Christian. And he says there's no way. He says, my Christianity, nothing matters about it because this is exactly the truth. He says, and he has to look at the evidence and believe in it. But he's also a nuthead Christian. But I mean, he's a Christian scientist, and he says evolution is a fact. Now, he believes it was guided by God. Fine, you can throw a God in wherever you want. God is the universe. Fine.
But he'll come out he's come out and said no. So there's no way that our species originated from one man, one woman.
Right.
They said there is no way, that is impossible, and he admits it. Yeah. And so it's like, okay, well, even the scientist that's a Christian has said, like you said, he said this is not right.
Yeah, Adam and Eve is not the creation of this world.
No.
They had nothing. I mean, the Hebrews stole it from the Sumerians anyway.
Well, yeah.
Adonis,
it was a stolen.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That was the sky people came down and put Adam and Eve on the earth, and the Sumerians.
Yeah.
Gods, what else do they want? That's what the Hebrews saying was God come down and made man in their image. It was plural.
Yeah.
So it was a stolen piece.
Well, looking at the path to truth, definitely science to me is a way to get there. I mean, because you've got all this evidence, but these people with the faith and stuff, when they just take stuff on faith and just hope for the best, that's where you get like those people in Pennsylvania that said, well, our faith says that we can heal our children by praying. See, the way that it goes, it reminds me that the faith, like those parents that were praying for their kids, they took it on faith that, well, our faith says that we can fix them by praying. But we found out through science, though, An antibiotic is much better at saving people. We've got evidence that proves this.
Has there ever been evidence of a miracle of somebody being faith-healed? I know the Catholic Church says it all the time.
Yeah, but stuff goes in remission too. That's the thing.
But there's never been one that could prove.
But
it was always been on a priest's word or these people that were around. It was on their that they didn't have cancer after that. They had it before, but doctor may not. Which I've heard this shit before. Cancer. Well, sometimes your immune system will kick in and do away with the cancer.
Yes.
It'll go into remission. There's a lot of different things can happen. Can you prove that God did it?
See, and that's where it is. They can't prove that.
No.
They can't prove a God in the first place.
But when your head is bent with superstitious, supernatural things all the time, well, that's no reach. Yeah, it was a spirit healing. Hell, it had to be. That's all they know. But you have no proof of it. You don't need proof because you got faith.
Yep.
And it's the most dangerous thing. Religious people are always trying to equate faith with trust. Say, well, what about you and your wife? You got faith in your wife? Well, not by the definition of faith. That's a different thing. I trust her. I've lived with her for a long time. I have evidence of past that we've had together. I can't guarantee what's going to happen tomorrow. But I trust her. And I will until she fucks me, the wrong way. I don't mean that in another way.
Yeah. Well, it's just like
But it's not faith.
There's an argument that somebody's making. Said, well, how do you know that the sun will rise tomorrow? Well, I don't know if the sun will rise tomorrow, but I can look at the past and say the sun has risen for all this time that I've been alive that I can remember. So I'm assuming. And
throughout recorded history, it's always
rose. So I can comfortably assume that it will rise tomorrow. I don't have to have faith in that.
Yeah, they're trying to equate that to faith, and that's not faith.
And that's not faith.
I expect the sun to come up, but it may not. That would be weird if it didn't. Then I would be shaken.
I'm like, okay, so something's not right here.
It would be the end of us, but I'd be shaken for sure for that moment of realization.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit.
But if you're looking at faith as believing in something without good reason to, I have good reason to believe the sun will come up tomorrow because it has for the past 4.5 billion years.
Yep.
And I have good reason to believe my wife's faithful because she always has been for the last 38 years or whatever. So, that's not faith. It's statistics more than anything.
Yeah.
But now I'm acting on those statistics. Maybe that's the small, slim line of faith. Because I don't know it 100,000%. I'm not I just don't know it as actual empirical truth. You don't know it just empirically that the sun will come up tomorrow. That gets into solipsism shit and fuck them. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that. That gets into a whole different...
Well, they think solipsism proves they're God because you can't know anything without God. That's that Scientific Brugengate shit.
Oh, God.
And he knows nothing.
Yeah, he knows absolutely.
With or without he's God, he's just an idiot.
Yeah, he's just an idiot. Plain simple.
And they want to play it. Well, you don't even know the sun's going to come up tomorrow. But I do. He doesn't know shit. He's got no better idea than you do. I feel like there's a damn good chance. The odds on, I'm going to bet the sun's coming up tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you want to bet on it, I'll bet you. It's on side.
There's a very, very good chance that it will. And there's a good chance, we got a shot of it tomorrow being out all day tomorrow. Not covered by clouds. Yeah. Now, we can kind of use a little bit of science to see how that's going to work.
But I think they try to blur those lines to make them feel better about their faith. That's what it's for, because I don't feel better about their faith at all, knowing that. It really scares me that they could believe something this dramatic about the rest of their life and not have one piece of evidence for it. Not provable evidence. They can say they felt this or this one told them this and I had an experience. It's the same experience you can have with other things in your life. Why is this one God?
Yeah.
I mean, you can have you get in a group of people and you can have an emotional experience and think it was very transcending of all mankind. And it's nothing more than the experience. You can do a lot of things. The chemicals in your brain, we're a social beast anyway, and that's been inbred, been around the campfire for many, many years, No, I don't believe any of those personal experiences anymore. I can't say what they really felt, what they did. It means nothing to me as far as their belief, though.
Yeah, no, that doesn't.
If that's what shapes their faith, then they've got nothing for me.